Get hyped, guys. Fan Fridays is about to be crazier than ever now that Pokemon Bank is available. Let's start off with some Linoon Xerneas because we have Z-Geomancy now available. We have all kinds of craziness and the just pure creativity that we've seen in some of these Fan Fridays battles all playing together. 7 generations of Pokemon now becoming one. This is going to be very beautiful because I feel Fan Fridays was already getting a little boring. Like, we had a small roster and we were just spamming 7th generation Pokemon. Like, okay, we know what the 7th gen Pokemon do. Now let's see what happens when they get to play with these other guys. And the Linoon Xerneas combo just worked so well because that's going to be the Simple Beam onto the Xerneas. Now I knew that was coming. It's like, alright, Linoon is going to set the Simple, and then we go into Z-Geomancy. For those of you who don't know what Z-Geomancy is going to do, like, this is going to be a crazy surprise to you. But Xerneas boosts its stats using Z-Power. Now, it doesn't clarify which stats, because it's all of them, and now it's setting up for the Geomancy. Now, there is a drawback here, that you can't have that white herb, or the Power Herb. Yeah, it's Power Herb on Geomancy. So you can't have the Power Herb, which means it's either go for +1 on the initial turn and then wait, or just go for +2 on everything on that first turn. So there is going to be a little bit of tech. I wonder who's going to run what. I wonder how many of them are going to be Z-Geomancy compared to how many of them are going to be the Power Herb. But either way, like, now you get the outspeed. So you get the speed initially, and then you can still outspeed it as you set up into the +4 everything else. So special defense, special attack, and speed is going to be good. And Linoon even has a belly drum. I mean, how do you deal with that? Like, you see 2 insane threats on the field. It's pretty much, you have to attack one of us. But it looks like the opponent is going to respond with a Z-move of his own. Going to go for that big damage off of the Primarina right there. It's kind of crazy. Like, the Aegislash is going for some kind of win condition. And then we're going for as much damage as possible. But that Moonblast did surprisingly a lot, though. And now we're just going into Xerneas that has +4 special defense and insane amounts of stats overall. So I don't know where this battle is. Well, actually, we know where this battle is going to go. Xerneas is probably going to sweep. But I'm actually trying to figure out the stats right now because I'm wondering if Simple Beam actually applies to the Z modification. Like, it didn't say it boosted its stats sharply, but it was just a regular boost anyway. Because that special attack, you know, that Moonblast did more damage than I expected. So we're going to see where these stats actually go. As Aegislash, gets the Sacred Sword onto Linoon. So Aegislash isn't even focusing the Xerneas. Not going for, like, Shadow Sneak or anything like that. And then we have the Espeon right now. So Espeon, I guess you just, like, set up Light Screen and Reflect, and then you make Xerneas even crazier. But the Shadow Sneak from the Aegislash +2, Espeon will only survive to that Focus Sash right there. And Xerneas has Horn Leech. And Xerneas hits Primarina with the Horn Leech. Super effective right there. And then gains, like, it has Sustain. Like, that's GG crazy right there. And Espeon has Psych Up. Oh no, now Espeon has all of those stats. But, oh, it doesn't matter because we don't get to see Espeon because of Shadow Sneak. Oh, it's crazy. So Primarina has the Aqua Ring. I think it's too little too late on that amount of sustain right there. Aegislash goes for the Shadow Sneak. Espeon will go down before anything gets a chance to happen. And Xerneas, I guess it's going to go for another Horn Leech and just heal up as much as it can. The Horn Leech Xerneas, I guess you can run it when you're gaining all those stats. I wouldn't expect it working with the Geomancy, but I guess against Water-type Pokemon, Primarina Pokemon like that, yeah, any health. The opponent's not going to do as much damage as you're doing, and the opponent is also not going to be able to, like, break through that healing right there. And now Sylveon is on the field as we get into a Gyarados. So Gyarados is going to bring that Intimidate and then drop the attack harshly. That's just how the ups and downs of the simple ability. So Gyarados going to go for that Mega Evolution right there. We're going to see how Xerneas responds. Like, I just want to see straight damage. Aegislash is going offensive. So unless it goes in the shield form, then we might have some problems. So Gyarados is going to Mold Break. And there's the Moonblast. So that's going to be the +4 Moonblast. And that's going to be a very gone Gyarados. So Aegislash with that Swords Dance. Man, the opponent just knows. He's like, alright, everything goes into the Aegislash, and we need it right now. And Sylveon also carrying the Psycho Up. Like, without the Shadow Sneaks, there's no way you can get around it. Like, Espeon, it just happened to go down to those Shadow Sneaks. But now there's really nothing that can be stopped about this one. Like, now you have Xerneas and you have Mini Xerneas. And you have Quick Claw. Aegis going to go for that Shadow Sneak. How much damage is it going to be onto Xerneas? Actually, a surprising amount, but it's not going to be enough. And Sylveon also has the stored power. Aegis does not stand a chance of that. And then this is the power turn. This is where it ends immediately. Xerneas with that Moonblast, and that is going to go and hit the tokens. And we have one more battle to go and check out for the Fan Fridays, so we'll be right back. Oh, that was filthy. Now, before we go into the next battle, I wanted to see if the Z power-up was boosted by a Simple Beam. I'm thinking maybe, but it would have to be like an uninvested defensive Xerneas. So I'm thinking it could be Timid because Linoon has 100 speed, and then you immediately follow that up into Xerneas gaining defenses, which makes it effectively more tankier than if it was a slower set with like hit point investment and stuff. So I think that might work, and then looking at that, we have a +4 Aegis Slash using Shadow Sneak, doing about the same amount of damage. So it depends on the Xerneas set. Dracox, comment down below what the Xerneas set was. But now this next battle is looking to be a little crazy right here. So that is going to be Legendary Brawling right now. Well, actually, the opponent running all those sick Legendaries, and then just the Xerneas for us. But we know, but once we get into Sylveon, once we get into all those other Pokemon, they get legendarily strength. So Kyurem Reshiram, that's going to be an interesting combo right there as we go Xerneas Linoon. Things are about to get a little interesting. So we're going to see if Xerneas needs to be beefy enough to do it. And I think Linoon does have the right amount of speed to make it work as well. So we have all the abilities and whatnot popping up as we go into Linoon with that Simple Beam. So just run like the Jolly Nature Linoon, go for Belly Drum, hope for the best afterwards. But Xerneas will get that Fairy Aura into the Simple, and then we're going to see, yeah, Xerneas with that Z move. So that's why I feel like it has to be Timid or something like that. The Horn Leech is weird because you can't really sacrifice any defenses, and you want to have max on that Modest, I'd imagine. So I guess it's only like a little bit of healing tech, but once you're getting +2 in the attack, kind of doesn't matter. But yeah, this confirms that's probably like a Timid for that like 100 speed into 99, and then getting all the stats that you need right there. So that is going to be Fusion Flare, and then Freeze Shock, and then all kinds of craziness, and then the Linoon is not going to die to that. Wow. I don't know how those combos work. And then we go into the Geomancy. Alright, so that is going to be stats right there. That's going to be special attack, special defense, and then the speed. So Xerneas hasn't gotten to do anything. Linoon flings the Key Berry onto Xerneas, though. That's pretty nutty, because if Linoon doesn't die for that turn, or get hit by physical attack, it just raises the defense, and that's going to be another Freeze Shock. So, Freeze Shock onto the Xerneas. I mean, that was a surprising hit right there. Good amount of damage, but when it comes down to the Reshiram with that Dragon Pulse will finish off the Linoon. And it's kind of that right there. So, Sylveon comes into play, and Sylveon just goes Psych it up, and there's nothing the opponent can do about it. Also, it's psyching up like the Key Berry stats. Quick Claw's gonna let it move first. Oh, the Quick Claw Sylveon. I love the filth. 1 in 5 chance to outspeed your opponents. Sylveon really needs that because, yeah, now you get that. You get that clutch chance of Quick Clawing, gaining all that, becoming unkillable. And then now you outspeed everything because you have a ton of speed boosting. So Reshiram with that blue flare, Xerneas going to avoid it, and we one-shot the Kyurem anyways. So that's going to be the Rayquaza. Is it going to be Mega? I'd imagine, if not Z-Move. No, it's just regular Rayquaza into the Moonblast. So that is going to be enough damage, just one shot. Everything's going to die. Everything is going to get one shot from here on out. And then Sylveon with the stored power. And that is going to be a quick turnaround on the GG. So yeah, the other one felt like it lasted a little longer than it should. Maybe off of the Horn Leeches on the Primarina. Once you get that conversion going, and then it's Mewtwo. Mewtwo's a fast, powerful Pokemon that should be feared. Except when it isn't, and the opponent has to forfeit right there. So, yeah, it looks like Simple Beam does work into the Xerneas. And then the Psych Up, yeah, I love Psych Up. Like, everything about this battle has something that's been featured in Fan Fridays that I love, but it takes it to the next level. And that's why I'm so excited for the Pokemon Bank right here, that we have Z-moves. So, Z-moves are going to be pretty nuts, but then, like, status. I think Z-status moves are better than the offensive Z moves, because if you have an offensive Z move, you're giving up Life Orb, you're giving up Choice Specs or Choice Band or something, and you're getting a good amount of damage back that might result in a KO, but it reduces your effectiveness outside of that. But then when we go into the Z moves, you know, you're getting boosts that are lasting for a really long time. So you have Xerneas +2 everything into the Key Berry to then +2 to then +4 on its defense overall. And then we have max special attack, max special defense, max speed. And then it just ends once you go Stored Power Sylveon or Stored Power Espeon. Espeon gets Stored Power, right? And then that means it's getting all those boosts plus a stab on that. Sylveon still has Pixelate. So even though the coverage is fairly reduced, it stops mattering once you hit +4, +6 on your special attack and whatnot. And then Linoone, I like the Key Berry. Like, Fling Key Berry, I think is more useful than the Belly Drum. Belly Drum just sits there. Like, you Belly Drum, and if they didn't kill you already, now they have to focus you a little, or else you do some scary things. I want to know what happens with the strategy if it goes against faster Pokemon. Like, I see the Xerneas kind of being frail, but then the Geomancy will follow up and then give it enough tankiness to survive, probably. Linoone does just fine, and then Espeon, that's where we know the Focus Sash is. So if Linoone goes down, that could be problems if it's outsped. But other than that, I think we're still looking pretty good on the strategy, and yeah, I love it. I love Simple Beam. I love the Psych Up. We now have like some of the craziest, most powerful Pokemon, some of the craziest strategies ever, and I can't wait to see what else we have for the Verlisify Fan Friday. So if you guys enjoy this battle, and we got some more coming your way.